Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's our my 4-month lockup date. My actual lockup date was yesterday, the 17th, because I started on December 17th of 2019. Trying to make sure I get my years right. Yeah, last year. So it's now been 4 months since I've locked and braided, plaited, interlocked my hair. So here's just a quick update on how everything's going. I hope you're doing well, I hope you're staying quiet inside, and I hope you're not shutting down during this time. Make sure you stay prayed up, make sure you have peace within, and try to do some meditation or some yoga or just exercise in between time. Alright, so before we get into it, let me just say thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here, and ultimately you already know the deal. Thank you so much for gracing your presence here on my channel. I truly appreciate it because you don't have to be here, but you chose me to choose you. You chose me to be your entertainment today. So I truly want to thank you for that. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to show you my locks, and don't mind the two clips in the front. I don't know what I was doing. It's a whole lot, okay? So we're just going to show you real quick what's going on. Alright. There is one side. Clearly I need a haircut. And let's just show you the back. So clearly I need a haircut, and as soon as the barbershops open up, that's where I'm heading. Of course not right away because everybody's going to be there. But anyway, so the first noticeable change is that I dyed my hair red. Went from blonde to red. Now I didn't have to use bleach because I had already bleached my hair, so the color was able to stick better to my hair. So if you're ever going from a lighter to a darker color, you don't necessarily have to use bleach. Just use a temporary dye or a temporary color. Sit it on there, let it sit for a couple minutes, and you're good to go. Alright, so yeah, first thing first, my hair color has changed. I don't know why, I just felt like doing something different. I got bored. Even when I was a loose natural, I got bored with my hair easily. So, you know, it just in the same routine. But this month has teaching me a lot of patience because my hair is growing. And shout out to Fabulous Rail for noticing. But yeah, so my hair is definitely growing and it's sticking up in weird places. It's laying down on one side. It's Congo in the back. There's loose hairs everywhere. Okay. Let's see if I can find another one. It's just everywhere. Here's another one. Here's another one. And then there should be one on the side somewhere. Yeah, right here. So I have loose hairs everywhere, and that's just because clearly my hair is growing, and it's growing, some of it is growing out of the lock. So I definitely have to be careful when I am going longer without a retightening, because when hairs grow out of your locks, of course by nature it thins out and it becomes really slim. So you want to make sure you retighten at a good pace so that way you can control how much hair is coming out of the lock. You can't really control it, but you can kind of monitor it, and when it gets too much, that's when you know you need to go back and do a little manipulating, if that's what you choose to do with your locks. Okay, so yeah, let's see what else I have. Oh, okay, so my locks are definitely slimming, and by that I mean they're kind of rounding themselves out, if you can tell. Let's see if you can see. See how it's kind of like this whole side is doing that. So here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. So look at this. Welcome to my lock journey. My whole head has a whole character in itself. But yeah, so my hair is slimming out, which I believe, I have no idea why. Maybe the locks were just very growing into each other, and the dead hair is starting to form within itself. So that's why the locks were slimming. Of course, when I braided my hair, I didn't do huge parts, so it kind of makes sense to why they're not like thick, unless you see the ones that are combined, which are like these, the ones in the back, some are in the front. So those are a little bit thicker, which makes sense. Another thing that I am experiencing is single strand knots. When I was a loose natural, I really rarely had this problem because I didn't do wash and goes, because my hair didn't like wash and goes. My hair was super dry. I have 4C hair, so my hair gets drier than normal. My scalp is very dry. I have eczema, so I have a whole lot of problems, right? But they're not really problems. They're just things that contribute to me being natural. So when I was loose natural, again, I did have loose strand knots, but now that I'm locked and the dead hairs sometimes don't know where to go, they form outside of the lock. Like, let's get closer. Let's see. Let's just look around my hair, see if we can find some. I know we can. Here's one. If you can see it. There's one. This one is trying to form one. Here's another one. So I'm experiencing a lot of that. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm not sure you are supposed to know what to do with it because it's just dead hair. So sometimes it'll either fall off if it's too loose, or if it's thick enough, it might combine with another lock. So I'm not really too worried about those. This is the first time in a while that I have experienced lint. When I had my first set of locks, hopefully I'll insert a picture somewhere here or in the middle, just so you guys can see, because I always talk about my first set of locks, but I never have shown you guys any pictures, so it's kind of hard to believe. But if you've been representing on the channel for a while, you know this channel has been through ups and downs, but you also know where I've started, which is with my first set of locks. So, yeah, when I had the first set, I didn't too much experience lint, but I feel that now that my hair is smaller, my locks are smaller, it's catching on to everything. So what I'm trying to stay away from is not using towels to dry my hair. That is a really big deal for me, because usually when we think of like growing our hair out and experiencing our journeys, we're like, we can do the same thing we did when we were babies, because it didn't matter then. Like, our hair was very sensitive, but at the same time it was growing into a thickening state, and we did what we had to do with what we had in the house. But now that we kind of have options, our hair does too, and our hair moves in the direction that we move. So now when I try to dry my hair with a towel, I'll experience like little lint buds in the midst of my locks, and that's something I don't want to build up over time. So now I'm like, okay, now I'm definitely going to use a t-shirt. I've been using the t-shirt here and there, but you know when your hair gets used to something, then you switch to a towel or you switch to something different, your hair kind of freaks out, reacts differently. So I'm going to go back to using my t-shirt because it's helped more and it's helped reduce the lint that's in my hair. I don't want lint, as I'm sure nobody does, but the main reason is because when you accumulate a lot of lint in your hair and you're putting moisture, oil mixtures on top of that, it can potentially get stuck in your lock instead of over your lock. So it can start out over on the surface, but once you add all those mixtures that seep into your pores, it can mix within and get stuck there, and before you know it, you can accumulate mold and mildew and just a lot of buildup that is not needed, and sometimes it's very hard to get out. So I'm definitely switching back to t-shirts to avoid all of that altogether. That's really all that's been going on during my I was looking down just to make sure I covered everything on my notes. But that's really all that I've been experiencing during my 4th-month block update. I'm so happy that I'm sharing these milestones with you guys because, like I said, when I look on YouTube, I only see like certain months. I don't see a continuum of months up to a year, up to 6 months, whatever. So I'm happy to share that with you guys because I know some of you are going through the same journey as I am. So I hope you guys are staying safe wherever you are, and let me know down in the comments below how is your 4-month lock journey going, or how it went, because I would definitely like to know, and I'm sure other people would like to know too, that are experiencing the same thing, similarities, or something completely different. Like I always say, if we're not helping each other grow, we're depleting our human race. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.